What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a very interesting Liverpool transfer news video. And in this video the main topic will be that the German and the English media are reporting, the Daily Mail, the Goal.com website are also reporting that Liverpool actually eyed a shock move for 36-year-old Bayern Munich legend Franck Ribéry. Apparently, according to the newspapers, Jurgen Klopp was keen on the veteran winger, but because Liverpool didn't sell any of their attacking players, we didn't even sell players like Ryan Kent or Harry Wilson, Liverpool just couldn't make room in the squad for Franck Ribéry, and I think he would have been a very good signing. But let me know what do you think about this in the comments below. And of course, if you enjoy these transfer news videos, leave a like. It really helps me out. Just takes a second for you guys to like the video and it shows me that you guys enjoy these. And according to the reports, Jurgen Klopp was actually very tempted to make a shock move for Franck Ribéry, and I can kind of understand why. Even though he's 36 years old, he has won everything at Bayern Munich, he has a lot of experience, and he probably would have been fine with a squad role. It's a lot more difficult to sign a young player as good as Ribery right now, or maybe even a little bit like better, a young player who is fine with sitting on the bench. But Franck Ribéry would have been fine with sitting on the bench and playing for one of the biggest clubs in Europe, Liverpool, and one of the most attractive clubs in Europe right now. And Ribery would have been good coming off the bench to add another 5 to 10 goals to Liverpool's season. I mean, maybe 10 goals is a little bit optimistic, because in the past 5 seasons Ribery never scored 10 goals in one season. But before that, for like 7 seasons, he scored more than 10 goals on average, about 15 goals for Bayern Munich. But of course, his numbers, the wrong side of 30, probably declined a little bit, and he was let go by Bayern Munich. I think his contract expired, but you have to take it into account that Jurgen Klopp knows Franck Ribéry and knows the Bundesliga really well, and he probably thought that if Liverpool sell one of their young players, maybe it's good to bring Ribery in as a squad option. But I actually prefer Liverpool developing Harry Wilson instead of giving Franck Ribéry the same playing time, because Harry Wilson is definitely good enough to be a squad player for Liverpool right now. But if we would have signed Ribery, I'm not sure how many minutes Harry Wilson and Ryan Kent and even Ryan Brewster would be getting. And according to the French newspaper L'Equipe, Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp considered making an offer for Franck Ribéry, which is very interesting. And I was actually very surprised when I learned this news, and I wanted to ask your opinion on it. Liverpool have apparently decided that they do not want to sign the 36-year-old. After all, Ribery would have had to work his way into the Liverpool squad that already contains, forwards like Salah, Mane, Firmino, Divock Origi, and of course players like Brewster, Kent, Wilson, who we already talked about in this video. And Ribery scored 124 goals in 425 appearances for Bayern Munich, so on average he has about 1 goal every 4 games. And Ribery also won 9 Bundesliga titles. That just blows my mind. 9 Bundesliga titles with Bayern Munich. Wow, he has been at Bayern since like 2007, so that means that in like 12 years or 13 years they won 9 Bundesliga titles. It just shows how dominant Bayern Munich, the record champions in Germany, are. And also Ribery won a Champions League and 6 German Cups as well, so he is a winner, and I think his experience could have helped the young players as well. And Ribery is actually not considering retirement as of yet, and he still thinks that he can pursue at least one more season of football. And watching him play for Bayern Munich, he could still terrorize defenders on the left wing, and Franck Ribéry and Robben were the iconic duo on the wing of Bayern Munich for so many years. So it's definitely an end of an era at Bayern that both iconic wingers left the club at the same time. Even though Arjen Robben announced that he is retiring from football altogether, Franck Ribéry hasn't decided yet. He still wants to play at least one more season, and there has been clubs interested in him, like Fenerbahce and other teams, and Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp seriously considered signing Ribery, and I think Ribery would have been interested in signing for Liverpool because it would have been a brilliant step in his career, leaving Bayern Munich for a Liverpool side who actually knocked Bayern Munich out in the Champions League in very, very spectacular, very impressive fashion. I remember the game and I was actually shocked how afraid Bayern Munich were against Liverpool to attack and to open their defense up and their midfield up. We were really, really frightening on the counter-attack. Mane and Salah had so much pace that Bayern, in both games against Liverpool, home and away, they didn't really play like Bayern Munich, and that's the biggest compliment that Liverpool could get, because Bayern actually altered their tactics and they played a lot more conservative, a lot more defensive, and I've never seen Bayern Munich play like that, not even against teams like Real Madrid and Barcelona. Usually they attacked a lot more, but against Liverpool I think they just wanted to defend and maybe nick one or two goals and go through, but it really backfired, because even though at Anfield they could hold Liverpool to a 0-0 draw, at their home stadium they scored one but conceded 3 goals, and it could have been more. And I think that Ribery would have seen this Liverpool move as a good step in his career, but apparently Liverpool are not really interested in him because, as I said, we have so many attacking players, and Jurgen Klopp wants to give the young players a chance to develop and to give them minutes. And if we sign too many experienced players, I get it that could hinder the development of the youngsters. So I'm actually fine with this decision, even though I would have loved to see Franck Ribéry pull on the Liverpool shirt for one season. I will be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of him, but I consider him a very, very good player still, and he was world class, absolutely world class in his prime, and he terrorized the defenders, fullbacks for many, many years at Bayern Munich, and I think he would have wanted an interesting adventure of trying himself out in the Premier League. And Ryan Kent didn't play for Liverpool last night against Napoli because of a virus. He couldn't make the squad. But Jurgen Klopp spoke out about him after the game, and this is what he said. Yeah, Ryan Kent's time is over for loan deals. At the age he is now, he needs to find a place where he can settle. We will see what happens, but a loan is not planned. He came back as a completely different player from Rangers, and it was a very important year for him. It helped being with a good manager at a good club with good competition, and it was exactly the right thing for him at the right moment. So Ryan Kent is not a youngster anymore. He's 22 years old and he only scored 6 goals for Rangers, but he was very impressive and he's a very direct player. He likes to get the ball and take on the fullbacks, take on the centre backs, and just either cut inside or go to the byline and shoot or whip a cross in. But I don't think he is good enough to be a Liverpool first team player. A Liverpool squad player. Yes, he is good, but do we want to rely on Ryan Kent pulling a rabbit out of the hat with 20 minutes to go in a crucial Premier League game? I'm not sure. I would prefer to play Harry Wilson or Ryan Brewster. Of course, if there is no really suitable offers for Ryan Kent, and so far that has been none, he's available for £8 million according to the BBC Sport website, and 8 million in today's game is absolutely nothing. So for that price, I honestly think that we should keep Ryan Kent, give him a squad player role, and just see how he develops, see how he does as a substitute in the Premier League, see how he does in some games in the League Cup, in the FA Cup, and just give him time to develop at Liverpool, and let's see whether he can make it at Liverpool. At least give him one season, I would say, and then we shall wait and see whether he's good enough or not. And Rafa Camacho, the talented Portuguese midfielder who moved to Sporting Lisbon back where he started off his career as a youth player, so he moved back to Sporting on a permanent deal, And he actually revealed in an interview that Jurgen Klopp encouraged him to make the switch to Sporting. And of course, Jurgen Klopp wanted what was best for Rafa Camacho's career. At this time of his career, he needs to play regularly. At Sporting, he will be a regular starter, but at Liverpool, he would probably play like 5 to 10 games in a season, and that's not the best for his career. This is what Camacho said in an interview. I spoke to Jurgen Klopp in December. I told him I had a chance to come back to Sporting. He said he knew, but at that moment he didn't want to let me go because I was part of Liverpool's plans. Before the summer, I spoke to him again and told him that I wanted to go back to grow as a professional. And he told me it was a great idea, that this would be the best club I could go to, and that if I worked, I would have my chance. And I think that's very good, that Jurgen Klopp maybe prioritized Rafa Camacho's career instead of Liverpool's needs. And to be honest, it's very harsh to keep a youngster just to be a squad option for next season and knowing that he won't get regular playing time. And Rafa Camacho is much better than the Liverpool under-23 level, no disrespect, but the league there is not really competitive. It's not like a professional adult football, but the Portuguese league is exactly that, and Rafa Camacho could play week in, week out, and you could see that many players who were playing in the Portuguese league could really shine and develop and turn into world-class players. João Felix was sold for 120 million euros, which still blows my mind, having just played one good season with Benfica, one great season though. And Rafa Camacho could also develop very well, and what Liverpool can benefit from this is that we have a buyback clause inserted into Camacho's contract, so if he turns into a world-class player like João Felix, we can sign him back for a fraction of his future valuation. And Virgil van Dijk actually said that Liverpool will do their absolute best once again to win the Premier League title next season. That's our ultimate biggest target. This is what he said in an interview. Every Liverpool fan dreams of the Premier League, dreams of winning the Premier League title. Everyone is waiting for it. We were so close last year. Unfortunately, it didn't happen, but the only thing we can do is go for it. There are so many games. Our December period is a madness. Basically, last season we lost only one game. We did everything we could, but Man City were just a little bit better than us. And December will be a madness indeed, because Liverpool will have the festive period, which is always mad in England, but Liverpool will have to travel to Qatar for the Club World Cup Championship as well. And we will have 2 games, the semi-final and either the final or the third place match on December 17th. And December 21st. So Liverpool will probably have to postpone the West Ham game in the Premier League, which is December 20th or something like that, 21st. And we also probably have to postpone the League Cup quarter-final if we get there. But I really want Liverpool to take this competition seriously, because Liverpool have never won the Club World Cup Championship. We lost in the final against Sao Paulo in 2005, where Steven Gerrard was absolutely gutted to not be able to lift the Club World Cup after lifting the Champions League trophy and the European Super Cup. So I really hope that Liverpool can put this right. And if there is any team that deserves to win that trophy, it's Liverpool, but we have to earn it on the pitch. You don't just deserve the trophy because you are Liverpool. You have to earn it on the pitch, and I really hope that Liverpool does that. And this is a very interesting story. Mamadou Sakho, it came out, the former Liverpool player, he is suing the World Anti-Doping Agency, WADA, for £13 million. He is claiming that that the decision they made cost him his Anfield career. Mamadou Sakho was given a suspension because of a testing positive for a fat-burning substance after Liverpool won 3-1 against Manchester United in the Europa League on aggregate. And he was given a 30-day ban, which was eventually lifted, but Sakho missed out on playing in Liverpool's Europa League final. And I still think that maybe with an informed Sakho, and Sakho was our best defender at that time, maybe Liverpool would have won that game against Sevilla. And also the suspensions was cleared by UEFA as they found the substance in question called higanamine was not actually on the banned list. What a farce, what a disgrace, and I felt so sorry for Mamadou Sakho at that time, because it was cleared, Mamadou Sakho was cleared in the end, and it came out that WADA banned him because of the wrong reasons, and he didn't make the France squad, which you know, was gutted. He was absolutely gutted about that, because he would have been in the French squad for the 2016 Euros. And the Crystal Palace defender now is suing WADA for an eye-watering £13 million. And the agency has so far not admitted any responsibility for this. They are basically citing that the leaving of Liverpool was down to disciplinary issues and a personality clash with Jurgen Klopp. But Sakho's barrister Stuart Ritchie believes that WADA is to blame. Although Crystal Palace is a distinguished Premier League club, it does not have the worldwide reputation or brand recognition of Liverpool FC. That's what this guy said. With the value which this brings to a player and his associated image rights, only recently has he been reselected to play for the French national team. So Sakho is suing for damages on his career as well, and I can understand why, because that was probably the biggest reason why Sakho and Klopp had a major fallout. Jurgen Klopp basically blamed Sakho for not talking to the Liverpool doctors about taking a fat burner, and he was right. There is a protocol, there is a rule at every professional football club that whatever medicine, whatever pills you are taking, you have to consult the team doctor about it. You have to consult it about everything, probably even what you eat. And if you are not 100% sure whether you can take something or not, just go to the team doctor and ask him. And I think Mamadou Sakho failed to do so, because if he spoke to the team doctor, this whole scenario could have been prevented. So Mamadou Sakho was a bit negligent and a bit dumb, to be honest, to do this. But it was just a fat burner, and I think he thought that there is no harm in taking that. And in the end, there was no banned substance in the fat burner. So Mamadou Sakho effectively didn't do anything wrong, in terms of he didn't take steroids or any performance enhancing stuff, but there was a mix-up somehow. He still got banned, and it ruined his career, because Jurgen Klopp could never look him in the eye the same because of the breach of trust, and because Mamadou Sakho basically let Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool down, because he couldn't play in the final, and Liverpool lost the final and lost the chance to play in the Champions League. But who knows what would have happened then? I don't think Liverpool were ready for the Champions League. I mean, we only just made the top 4 the next season without Champions League football. So yeah, it's a mystery what would have happened, but it's not even worth thinking about. But I thought this was an interesting story to cover for you guys. So thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed this. Have a nice day, see you later guys, goodbye.